So like right now, seeing our industry where it's at, and where we're going and where it was when you got started with your dad to where it is now. What are some changes that you can identify? Maybe talking about labor, people coming out of school, even wanting to be involved in this industry, and then some pivots or directions you're looking to go now as a CEO of a very large company in our industry.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of questions.
Yeah, that's a lot of questions. I should have broken those down. So you got to understand, this is sometimes what happens to me. My daughter usually does a good job of helping. See, this I really wish she was here with me. Hopefully she hears me say this enough that she'll start to figure out how we can schedule around her school schedule. But yeah, she usually breaks this stuff down better than I do. I always am the 40,000 foot guy and just pop it all out. So anyways, but we can break it down. However, I'll make sure that you answer most of it. So,
okay. I'll start with the industry. So I think the industry has become more and more sophisticated. We're not 100% there. I don't know if any industry is 100% there, but I feel from where we first started, starting to go, well, back in the day, it was the PLACA days to today, now the ALCA and PLACA merging and it's NALP, going to some of those meetings, going to some of the consultants meetings that are out there, really feel that there has been a huge advancement in our industry. We have more and more business people in the industry that are hopefully people can look up to and, aspire to be like them. So which is great. I think that is a huge difference. Back in the day, you'd say, do you do business plans? And people like, what are you talking about, business plans? No, I don't do business plans. Where more and more people you hear they do business plans and they do, they meet with peer groups and they compare notes and, so you hear a lot more of that. And I think a lot of the consultants in our industry have really helped in that space. And as far as what was the next question? So that was my view on the industry.
So how about labor?
Labor, yeah. So it's interesting. I have a huge opinion on labor, and people sometimes don't like to hear my opinion. The world has changed. Newsflash: things are going a lot faster. So those A players are out there. You just got to be faster to get them. You got to be quick. You got to be innovative. You got to create a destination workplace for these people, and we have franchisees that don't do a very good job at this. And we have franchisees that do a great job at this. But gone are the days where you can put an ad in and now, clearly it's online, where you collect all of the resumes. And at the end of the week, you pick up the phone and you start to call through the resumes. They're already gone. They're off the market. They've been hired. You're up against, the Ubers and the Skip the Dishes and Amazon and all of these others. It's not just our industry anymore. You're up against all of these. And if you were to go online right now and apply to one of those positions, and I recommend everyone does this, go and see how quickly you get through their pipeline. I did it myself to see. I went and I started applying at jobs. I wanted to see the flow. I wanted to see their pipe. What does it look like? One of them was Skip the Dishes. I wanted to see what that would look like. So went through their pipe. I got a text, a call, and an email within 5 minutes of hitting the apply.
That is amazing. That's amazing.
Right? That's what you're up against. So we have to acknowledge that and change and be more nimble. So it's the same thing, I'm sure, when you get a lead for a landscaping job or a lawn care job. We know the first one there typically gets the job, maybe price and whatnot in your segment of the industry. But the lawn care for us, first one there, first one to pick up the phone, first one to give a price, first one to make an impression on the customer, we get the job. It's the same thing with these applicants. I think the hiring cycle, which may have been, 20 years ago, could have been a 2-week cycle. It's less than 24 hours now. You have to get them into the pipe, get them interviewed, and hired and into your orientation within 24 to 48 hours from that initial raise your hand. And the people that have done that are successful. The next thing is we have to stop talking about millennials like they're not in the room. We have to stop doing that. We can't have it, oh, it's the millennials. Oh, it's this. You know what? People in front of behind us, like the baby boomers, probably talked about us exactly like we talk about the millennials. And I think we did pretty good. Yeah, maybe they look at things differently, but that's not a bad thing. I've got a ton of people that are millennials in our company that are fantastic. I would put them up against anybody, any age group, and they're amazing. So we have to stop talking like it's us against them, because it's not. They're our future of our company. So we better adapt and make it a place where they want to come and work. So, and I'm very opinionated of that because I am a watcher of data. And when I see something, I look for gaps. And that's what I do. That's my job. I look at numbers so I can see how long it's taking my franchisees to get back to a candidate. And I watch that. And then I watch their results on their marketing and sales. So I know that this is happening. And when people ask me that question, I'm very passionate about that.
So first, I love the passion. And secondly, I agree. Actually, I agree very much. The one thing that I would add to it, though, is, and quite honestly, it's why I'm getting, for my landscape company, Langton Group, why we got so involved in automation, because it's not that people don't want to be in this industry. They just don't want to walk behind a walk mower anymore. So at the end of the day, millennials are about technology. So I kind of ask the question because I get a lot, and I'm very passionate about this, where people see what I'm doing with automation, and we're going to kind of undress it a little bit here shortly because you're going to be doing some stuff with automation too. And you get you're taking jobs away and you're doing this, and you're doing that. And one of the things I always say is, first of all, I have what I call the grass ceiling when it comes to mowing grass. Okay. So it's like, you're doing fertilization, and there's a license that needs to be carried to that chemical application. And there's a certain level of professionalism that just comes with the job, because at the end of the day, you're mixing chemical, and most consumers are like, yeah, I don't really want my fertilizing person to mess up. I'll pay the money because I don't want to fertilize. But in the industry of mowing, like mowing grass, there's this perpetual cycle of people feeling like they don't get paid enough. They go start their own business. They don't understand their costs. They keep the value of mowing down. Okay. So then when a professional organization tries to raise prices, the consumer says, yeah, I'll just pay the guy in the truck, but I'll have you build my patio. It's kind of what's happening, which makes the industry fragmented. So one of the things that I've been speaking to, and one of the reasons for this podcast, is to let millennials know, like, hey, we can start doing lawn mowing with technology. Okay. You can monitor an app and make sure the mowers are working. And your morning can start out with get up at 7:00 in the morning and go do the resets where the mowers got stuck, and then fall into line trimming or string trimming and doing the other tasks. And this is just on repeat. And now they all feel like they're their own little bosses, because the thing that I always like to elaborate on is our schooling system has changed also, especially now with COVID, because it's all remote learning. But, whereas we used to do stuff in class and it's like you do stuff out loud and this and that. Now these kids have laptops. There's a presentation loaded in. They're expected to go through it, pick out the things they like. So they're kind of their own little bosses. And I think that's the one thing that our generation sometimes doesn't identify is we want to put everybody in crews and identify you're the leader and you're just going to be the person that works under this leader. But they have more of like a circular type of viewpoint on life. They don't want to see hierarchies. They want to see, like, how am I going to contribute with the person right next to me? That's what I've noticed. So, and I can see you're passionate about that. And so that's what we try to do. Like, we've even had it where we have like a core values team, and we have our older some of our older people in the company, but we make sure there's some younger people so that we can all meet in the middle. So everybody feels happy to come to work every day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's exactly it. Like, I think any segment of any age group wants to come to work and have fun. Like, yeah. Why would you not want to? Like we said earlier, we spend more time with our work family than we do our sometimes our real family. So for me, that's got to be an important part, like as an owner of a company, sometimes you have to look at your company with a lens of as if somebody was coming into it, like what does your company look like? You're so busy working in it, but you need, like, as we look at these issues, you kind of have to look the other way and look at from the outside in. What are people seeing? Or ask your kids, go through our hiring process, or somebody that like, give me your opinions, your thoughts. And that's sometimes I think we're afraid to do that. And I would say that's not unique to our industry. I think as owners, sometimes you get so caught up that you think you know what you're doing and whatnot, but having that look from the outside in, or looking at other industries and looking how they're doing things and how things are evolving, are just so important. When I first started, you did competitive analysis within the industry. You call up some of your competitors and check what they were doing and whatnot, but it's got to go beyond that now. You can't just check what your competitors are doing. You got to check out what other industries are doing to be attractive to the millennials and the next generations that are coming up through.
I think it's great that you bring up the other industries, because that's something that traps our industry kind of in the bubble that it's in, which is we're always just looking at what the person next door in the industry is doing. But you are right that people, they're not stuck in an industry anymore. They'll go work for Uber. And I found that in snow removal this year has been crazy, because with all the delivery drivers, it was the hardest year for me ever to find CDL truck drivers, because I hire them for $30 an hour, but then Amazon hires them for 18, but it's full time. So they start work in the morning and they come home at night, and they don't have to wait for it to snow. And it's like, wow, I mean, you're seeing, you were spot on with what you said with that.
Yeah. When was the last face-to-face that I went to? Because Canada's in lockdown. We just can't even leave our country right now. We can't even leave our houses barely. But I was at the GIE, I don't know, 2-3 years ago. And, labor's always been a point of discussion. So went over to Jimmy John's in Louisville, went for a walk to grab some lunch, and was standing in Jimmy John's. And of course, it's not just a topic of conversation at the industry events, it's topic of conversation amongst our Weedman franchisees. So I'm sitting at Jimmy John's in Louisville, Kentucky, and the place is jam-packed full of employees. Like behind the counter, it was lunchtime, there was lineups. I was waiting to get order my sub. And they were high-fiving each other, having so much fun. And I'm thinking, Jimmy John's, like, what are they probably paying these people? I don't even know. But this is what was going through my head as I'm standing there going, if they can attract people to work behind a counter making subs, then surely we can figure this out and hire people that can work outdoors, enjoy the outdoors. Some of the benefits that we offer in our company, we have to be able to track these kind of people. They're people that are having fun on the job. They were smiling, they were happy, and they can't be making more than minimum wage. If they are, it wouldn't be very much more. And we're paying way better than that. Why can't we get these kind of people here?
Well, I think Jimmy John's offers flexible work schedules. Yes. Shorter hours, okay? Mm-hmm. Because this is what I'm seeing. It's like, if I hire a younger person, I don't want to label them millennials. Just if I hire a younger person, there's this after 7 to 8 hours, it's literally when are we done? Like, when are we going home? I mean, I could pay them double time after 8, and they still just want to go home. Yeah. So, but here's the thing: is it our place to tell them that mentality is wrong? No, it's just we have to adapt.
That's right. Yeah.
We have to figure out, okay, well, now maybe I have to hire some extra part-time people to cover that extra work. I don't really know. So yeah, it's about adapting to what's out there right now. Now, personally for me, my adaptation is, 200 robot lawnmowers right now mowing grass because nobody wants to mow it,
Yeah.
but now I just have technicians that monitor that. And what's nice is their schedule is flexible because it doesn't make a difference. Like if I have a technician call at 9 and if they call me at night and say, hey, I'm going to go let my mom's dogs out before I come into work, I don't really care because now I don't have no one is waiting on them. Okay.
That's right.
Like one of the things I've done, Jennifer, is I've changed it so there's one technician to a robot crew. There's not 3 people. So in my industry, and so maybe it's a little different for you because a fertilizing technician is one person gets in the truck and goes. For us, if one person is an hour late, 2 people are waiting on them.
Yeah.
So for landscaping, it's even harder,
Yeah. True enough. Yep.
So,
yeah, no, very, very true. And I can see that as being, so look, you've adapted, you're changing the way. So you're going to be a front runner in this industry.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.